What's going on? This is Danny Warsop. You're listening to the Vulgar Display of Podcast.
Hi, and welcome to the Vulgar Display of Podcast live from the Barnes Studio in Southeast Missouri. You got the Mox, Anthony, and Dale here, and we're joined online right now with Danny Warsnip or Snop. How do you pronounce the last name, Danny?
You got it right the second time.
Got it right the second time.
Okay. We'll just go with that. You're coming into town actually a couple times in the next few months. July 18th with your solo work there. You'll be at the Red Flag in St. Louis. We're excited to have you in town. And then in October, you're coming with Asking Alexandria, and All My Friends tour. Looking forward to having you in town in the next couple months.
I'm gonna be I'm on a little bit in this back half of the year. This is a heavy one this year. I just got back from like 16 weeks. So I've still got another 7 to go.
7 to go, you said?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good run.
Do you get much time off, and how do you spend your time off?
I usually have a lot more. I don't like touring. So I try to have as much. I don't have time off, but I have time off from touring as much as I can.
Right.
I usually don't like to do more than like maybe 2-3 months a year on the road. I have a few liquor companies actually headed to the assessment of a tequila offices right now in Pensacola, Florida. And then, I run my studio and my photography business and a few other things that are a little more low key and don't have my name on them. But yeah, a lot of work and a lot of writing and studio time, mostly in the spare time.
We've obviously seen you, this is a metal podcast, but we cover a lot of different genres. We've seen you obviously in Asking Alexandria, but what can we expect on your solo work, specifically the show in St. Louis?
So there's this next tour. I released my last record came out 5 years ago, so I've kind of been inactive. I put it on the back burner a bit, just for like kind of under request of the Asking Alexandria camp, while I was obviously up and out doing my thing there. It's been kind of weird, and we've only just over the last few weeks started to kind of define what it all is. Where it's been, that point in a relationship where you've been seeing each other and it's like, what are we? That's been the last 7 or 8 years of Asking Alexandria, because I never rejoined the band.
Mm-hmm.
When I left in 2015, I've never rejoined. I just kind of keep showing up.
Right.
So it's been I've been couch surfing the band for 7 or 8 years, and I'm still very much a kind of an independent contractor. I don't know even what the term is within music for it, but I kind of put my music on the back burner for the last 5 years, just while we were setting everything up there. Obviously, there was the repairing anything that was post me leaving, and then with the recent stuff with Ben leaving, it's been all hands on deck for that. But I've reached a point where it's I do a lot of other things, and I have to put my attention there as well. So I'm getting back into making my music, enjoying my music, and playing and focusing on that a lot. So this show is kind of celebrating everything that was up until this point. I just finished recording my new record yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So it's celebrating everything up until now, getting ready to start up again with that in the new year.
Nice. Any release date for that?
Not yet. We just finished recording yesterday, so I need to get that mixed, then go into mastering, and then I have a lot of ideas for videos. I want to do videos for the entire record and kind of release it that way. And it'd be kind of more of an artistic thing than just like, hey, here's some songs.
Right.
Like
visual aids.
Yeah, it's a little early for dates right now, but I'm thinking album will be early next year, but singles will start out in a few months. The first one, I believe, possibly being, I don't know if we playing Red Flag there. I think the first single is Red Flags, which is the second track on the record.
Oh wow.
Oh, killer.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have a question about the sounds on the record because you are a man of many talents and of many genres, I would say. Obviously, you've been playing metal for a long time, but you explore, R&B and soul and country. What kind of sounds are going to be on this record? What can we expect?
It's really, we've been talking about this a lot. It's really hard to kind of put a label on. So I'm trying to figure it out, honestly. It's very different and it's unlike anything. It started out, I wrote the entire thing as just me and a piano. And then obviously, I mean, I'm a guitar guy, so we brought in a lot of guitars. I hate cymbals. So we have drums, but it's all like timpani style, like just a lot of big toms and kicks.
Mhm.
And the percussion side, and then full orchestra. So it's a very cinematic, kind of sounds like it's just like a Bond theme song, the entire
Right.
record.
Love it.
Like a theme song? Is that what you said?
Like a band. Yeah.
Yeah, like a James Bond soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, killer. Killer. When you do your solo work, does it feel like you can explore anything at that point? Because sounds like you do. And just listening to your music, you explore many genres. It's easy to kind of get in that box and stay in a box, but does that allow creative freedom in the process?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a very firm believer on that's what all art's supposed to be in the first place. Obviously, with some things, you kind of end up in a box whether you want to be there or not, and I think that's it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a thing. This is a part of the universe, and I mean, Asking Alexander is obviously within that. Asking can't go put out a kind of cinematic orchestra album. And we've toyed with the idea of an acoustic album. I think that's about as much leeway as we're going to be afforded. But I mean, that's now, it's a hard rock metal band, and it's kind of hard to sway away from there. And we tried to be more of a rock band, and it was a lot more challenging than we anticipated, just to kind of for people to accept it with that name attached to it. Ironically, a lot of the feedback was like, this would be a really good song, and I would really like it if it wasn't Asking Alexandria. And I do not understand it.
I don't get it
But
either.
I remember all those mixed emotions when that happened.
yeah, it's one of those weird things where it's like, I would like this if you didn't have your name. Like if it was all of you still playing it, it was the exact same song, you called it something else, I would like it. I don't like it because it's Asking Alexandria. This is what you're supposed to be, which I don't like, but it's the way of life. So I think that's why I like doing my stuff. I'm not beholden to anyone, and anytime anyone has been like, well, we want you to do this, I'm like, I give a fuck what you want. This isn't about you.
This has got
I'm writing these songs for me,
Yeah.
and yes, I hope you like them. But if you don't, I don't care.
Right.
If you do,
Right.
beautiful. Thank you so much, and I appreciate it. But
If
I'm
not,
writing
then
these for me.
move on.
It doesn't matter if you don't like it.
Right.
Is writing and the creative process, therapeutic for you? Is that where you get to let some of the emotions that maybe you have or the feelings, you get to let that out?
Absolutely. Yeah, feelings are gross and terrible. So I've always been a very kind of push them down and drink about them kind of feeler.
Yeah, which is
And then
Not-
I'll sit down with a guitar or piano, and then I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Is it easier for you to express them in that way? Because guys, you kind of
Oh,
mentioned
definitely.
guys love to suppress our feelings and our emotions and just kind of carry on and keep our head down and keep going to work kind of thing. But through creative outlets, we're, I think, more apt to express them in that way.
Yeah, I mean, this is about to sound very pessimistic and depressing. I swear I'm a very upbeat person, despite my monotone and quite relaxed way of living my life. I've seen a lot of people, and I don't trust people enough to talk about stuff like that with them. Like I have very few people I consider close in my life, and I'm not about to go talk to a bunch of people about problems. That let's be very, very honest with ourselves. They don't give a fuck about. Like they can be empathetic. They don't care. Those problems don't affect them. So like, I'm gonna bother them with that. But I'll sit down and talk about piano, and it's fine.
What would you do if you weren't making music?
Photography?
Oh, yeah, I do obviously love photography. I enjoy when I do kind of acting side of stuff. I mean, I love my companies. I mean, obviously my companies are a lot of fun because I make alcohol. But it'd be all of the other things I do. Music is it feels weird saying now because it used to be everything I did, and now it's kind of quite a small piece of the puzzle of what I do, like in terms of vocation. So yeah, it's everything else I do, I would have probably found my way to.
Do you like the business aspect of the music business? You know, do you find yourself, I mean, obviously you own your own production company, but is that something that you enjoy a part of, you know, being a professional musician?
Yeah, I think maybe I like to think of the right reasons, but the industry probably disagrees. I think that this is an industry that's inherently quite evil and cruel, um, and it preys on naivety and unwillful ignorance of
Mm.
creatives who never got into the business, and they trust people with making all those decisions and running all those things. It makes it very easy to take advantage of, and I've upset quite a lot of people over the years because of that, because they try and pull stuff. I'm like, no, get the fuck out of here. I'm not doing that. Um, I've always ruffled feathers by saying no a lot when people don't expect me to, and I think that's the part I enjoy. Where it's like I get to maybe cause little waves, and then friends I meet along the way help them a little bit. And I've been fortunate that I a friend base that I do have that's quite switched on, and have over the years paid a lot of attention, and all kind of on the same page. But yeah, that's enjoyable. I enjoy it.
Do you think the success that you've had allows for that freedom of to say no? Because, you know, I don't want to speak for you, but I know we talk to a lot of bands that are sort of on the come up where they have to not sell their soul for their music, but they definitely might agree to something that they're not fully invested in. You know, with the success that you've had, do you feel it's easier to say no now?
Yes and no. I mean, it's definitely easier now, but I said it back then too. And I think it all comes down to a level of how much shit you're willing to eat to do it.